everybody. Welcome to the Hallmarkies podcast. We are so excited today. We've one of our favorite Hall stars is here, giving us a chance to talk about his new movie coming out, Christmas in Vienna. And I'm film critic Rachel Wagner, and Brennan Elliott is here. Thank you so much, Brennan.
Oh, glad to be here, Rachel. Always fun to spend time with you. Hello, everybody.
Yes. So how have you been doing? The last time we talked with you was in January.
Yeah, right before everything. Right before the Earth had a side shift.
Yeah, that's right. Little did we know what was coming for 2020.
No, I know. Yeah, I'm up in Vancouver right now, and I had to come up here. I think it was October 7th. Rach and I had to do 2 weeks quarantine before we started filming back-to-back episodes of Crossword Mysteries.
Oh my gosh.
Look, you're stuck in a hotel room. It is what it is, and it's the rules and the laws of this country, and so.
Yeah.
Get your groceries early and portion it out through the 14 days. No, it was, look, to be honest, it was, it was a lot of time by myself, and you get a chance to either, enjoy the process with yourself or not. So,
yeah,
but,
are
it was fun.
You by yourself in the hotel when you quarantine, or are you there with Lacey, or is it just
no,
you?
I'm in my own for the quarantine. She quarantined. I believe they got a house. She was doing a couple of movies before we started our two movies together, which I would have done if I was up here a little bit longer. And I thought about doing it, but and I didn't think it was going to be. It wasn't like, look, there's more world problems than sitting in a room for 2 weeks and not being able to leave. But you start to think things and overthink, and you start to analyze your life, and you start to look at the things you've done in your life you can be better at or whatever. I mean, it was actually a really introspective 2 weeks, and I tried to use it as just an exercise in spending time with myself, and obviously had a lot of work to do because we started filming, and I don't think I've spoken so much on a film in my life, but whether that's good or bad.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of dialogue to get down, and then obviously once the quarantine did, which I was rare work, we went after it. We finished Crossword Movies for our first movie of this double block on Saturday.
Oh my
and then I'll
gosh.
hopefully hustle home and live tweet the Christmas movie.
So did you do any like binge watching or anything like that when you were 2 weeks?
Well, I had my phone, and I like to watch YouTube and different, but I'm kind of a documentary guy too. I like to escape by watching documentaries, because when you do TV and film, I don't really watch as much of that because it's the business we're in. But
sure.
And also obviously in Canada we didn't have a lot of the Christmas movies until a week later. I watched some Hallmark, but they don't have Hallmark. They have the W Network here, which is carrying a lot of the Hallmark stuff. So that was kind of fun. And just watched a little bit of television, but just kind of stay busy on the script, and I had some some press stuff to catch up on, but it's the first time for me in probably 15 years where I had 2 weeks and I had nothing to do. Like,
you're right.
Nothing, so I had to cook and order food in and do my thing. But in retrospect, it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be.
Yeah, if you like documentaries, you should watch McMillions. That was my favorite this year.
McMillions,
yeah. It's so entertaining. It was really good.
I just love, cultures and places and people that, history or whatever, that you can't comprehend their life. It's just so mind-blowing to watch.
It's all about this scam that this crazy group of people all tried to do in the around 2000 for to rip off the McDonald's Monopoly game.
Oh, that would be really wild.
So yeah, it's all about them, and it's then all about the investigators that solved it, who are characters, and I just really enjoyed it. It was very fun.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I'll check that out.
And what's really cool too about it is that if you watch it, they the producers and directors did a podcast to go along with every episode of the documentary.
Oh, very cool.
So you can listen to the podcast and get more interviews, and it's really
interesting.
Cool. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah,
it's really
I'll check
good.
It out for sure.
Yeah. So you're up there filming the Crossword Mysteries, and you're doing 3 more.
We're supposed to do, we're probably going to end up, if we, depending on the, culture and the climate and how everything looks COVID wise, but I think we're going to try to do 3. There's talk of doing another one in January. We're very, very excited. We're doing number 4. That would be 5. And then the one in January would be 6. But the one we're doing now it's just the mystery. These scripts are tight. The mysteries are tight. There's so much fun. There's a little bit more action, a little bit more of Lacey and I in the romance department. So I don't want to disclose too much, but all the stuff that the fans been clamoring for, we're trying to put it in. So and keep everybody. I think I'm very, very proud of obviously Abracadabra, and I think this one we just keep getting better and better in the quality and also our voice with the show. And also we've moved to Vancouver, Rachel, on this. So we went from the East Coast to the West Coast. So
right, were
the landscape.
Were they in Toronto? The other ones?
Yeah, we're in Vancouver, North Bay, Ontario, the first three. And now we're in Vancouver, and it's.
So you've done so many movies with Lacey now, and what is that like working with her when you have done so many? How does that relationship help you in your performances?
Well, I think anybody I've been lucky enough to work with a lot of great leading ladies on the network, and take pride in trying to find chemistry and honesty in the work, and try to make the performances and the relationships honest and real. And with Lacey and with anybody you work with, the more you work with them, there's more available stimulus there to draw upon in the scene, and you get closer to that person. And her and I are good friends and have become good friends off camera. And it's just like putting on an old jacket. It's just simple. It's very easy. I mean, you still have a lot of work to do with your work and your character, but we trust each other. We were talking about this the other day as to, I think that we come at the work very similar, but we also trust each other because we've become good friends, so that when we're in a scene, there's nothing in the way as an actor kind of being afraid to go. You just go with the person you're working with. And because we're so open with each other and have such faith and trust in each other, go with that instinct or whatever, and it just flows really, really nicely. And that happened on the very first All in My Heart. And when we're finished December 13th, we're supposed to be done movie 4 and 5 across, so that'll be 9 movies together.
Yeah, that's a lot.
9 movies. So I'm just very blessed. I mean, she's wonderful, and we got a great, obviously the All in My Heart franchise was successful, and Crossroads is successful. So, and the fans are enjoying them. So when we go to work, it's a lot of fun together, and we get along great. So,
I mean, she's a workhorse, because she will have done, by the time you guys are finished, the 3 movies, she will have done, and she did 2 movies for Hallmark Christmas, since COVID. So she will have done 5 movies since since July, since they reopened again. That's pretty impressive.
Did. No, that's 4. She'll have done 4. She did 2 Christmases and then our 2 movies. But if we do one in January, that'll be 5.
Oh, okay. So they're just doing you're just doing the 2 now.
Yeah, this year she'll have done 4. She'll have done January, early February. So yeah, she's done 4 in a row back to back. I don't know how she does.
That's pretty good. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
How has it been filming in COVID with all the restrictions and everything like that, doing a mystery?
I was lucky that Lacey had done a couple already. So she kind of, I was offered a show. I was offered a show in June, July. And that was having spikes in a lot of the deaths in the country. And I see if this thing kind of leveled out, or we round the curve, whatever the term was. And it just didn't happen. So I was late July, early August. I just had a good conversation with even Lacey, and she said, they're taking these precautions. This is what they're doing with masks and sanitation. There's a COVID person on set. So gave me comfort that all right, well, when Hallmark calls to go to work, I'm just going to go to work, and I'm just going to take these precautions. And I was ready in about August, and then we started the process of prepping these. And when I got on set, she'd already done a couple. So she gave me kind of the lay of the land on what you need to do to stay safe and stay protected, and what kind of precautions and guidelines to follow, and they've been wonderful. I mean, Hallmark and the people on the ground here really have kind of made it a safe environment, or as safe as can be, following the guidelines. And you get on set, you sign in, you take your temperature, you have to wear a mask no matter what until we roll. Lacey and I are being tested, 2-3 times a week for COVID. And so they're taking those precautions. And if I'd have known this, I probably would have had another movie done this year too, because I just didn't see how they could have done it. And then when now that I've experienced it, Right. So your same routine, the way you work, maybe it's a little different. It doesn't feel like you can kind of connect maybe off camera with the cast or crew, or, you know, high fives and handshakes and hugs and whatever. Those days are over. So you kind of do, we have this thing where we just pump elbows and you know, just try to keep our distance, and everybody's been very respectful with that.
Yeah.
Because, you know, look, I mean, a lot of the Hallmark fans, Hallmark has content because there's a, you know, the fans really want to see a lot of the Hallmark material. And so being a part of the family and being, you know, blessed and thankful to be a part of the family. If it's, I'll just do as many movies as I can, and in this environment, it is safe, and it's been really encouraging. It's been
Well,
great.
I think it's just incredible. I'm blown away that they figured they were able to adapt,
Yeah, it's
and
amazing.
everybody I've talked to said they felt very, very safe,
Yep.
and that you know, that they were able to make it work. And I mean, the fact they ended up with 40 Christmas movies just blows my mind. I
Oh,
could not.
aren't they? They're incredible, incredible.
Unbelievable.
And they need, I think, honestly, and you can talk to this, attest to this more than I can, if you're podcast fans, is we need these movies more than ever right now.
Yeah.
You know, people need to be uplifted and have some fun and be in the spirit of Christmas. And I think those 40 Christmas movies really are gonna be something that people are gonna appreciate them as much as they already have, even more. You know.
Yeah,
So
I think so. And I mean, I really feel like the movies have been great so far for Christmas, the Hallmark. And maybe part of it is that I have just sort of needed them more than,
maybe.
but I've tried to be objective as a film critic, and I've
Right.
just really enjoyed. I feel like they stepped up their game,
Yeah.
and not only with diversity, but just with better stories. And I've just really been enjoying it. And so, yeah, Hallmark is winning 2020. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah, don't and they know their formula and they know their brand, and as do a lot of the, you know, the familiar faces that perform in these movies. You understand what the brand is, you understand what the fans want, and you got to, you know, make choices accordingly. And I think that they've all been working very hard, obviously in their homes, not at the office, because everything's still kind of in some sort of lockdown on some level. And to do these 40 movies is a testament to
Unbelievable.
their, it's unbelievable. It's fantastic.
So, were you able to have Barbara in these two that you were shooting with
Oh, how could we
everything?
not? Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. We have Barbara, Niven, obviously John Capellos back. Everybody's back.
Oh, good.
There is a change. I guess I could say this is not a big deal, but there's a new detective that'll be on the show.
Oh,
A,
okay.
a new Winston was the old partner, and you know, I don't want to say anything more, but there's going to be a change, and I think,
Oh, okay.
you know, as sad as it is to not have him, and maybe in the future we can. He got on something else, another show of some sort, and we couldn't work out certain dates. And we've been blessed with the addition of somebody that I think is going to make a lot of the fans extremely happy, and I won't
Oh,
close anything more. Yeah, I mean, not somebody
cool.
I'd maybe, someone new to the Hallmark family, but it's a female. It's a female, which
Oh,
but you know, obviously, just another detective in the agency that can add a little bit of femininity to a male dominated environment, which I think is necessary in
yeah.
every job, being the feminist that I am. But
Yeah.
you know, and
Cool.
you know, yeah, she's great. So, and these movies are going to be fantastic, and Lacey and I are having a lot of fun.
Oh, we're excited. We really enjoyed Abracadabra. We thought that one was really
Yeah, I thought that one turned out pretty good, actually.
yeah, that one
Yeah,
was fun. I liked the whole magic element
I know, right?
combined with the you know, it was fun because that episode of the podcast that we recapped that one, I actually had my dad on that episode, which was fun.
Oh, cool. Does he
Yeah.
like magic? Does he like magic?
Yeah, and he enjoyed it, and
Oh,
he
good.
loves mysteries, so it was fun.
Oh, excellent.
We recapped, I think it was that one and the first Martha's Vineyard mystery, and then
Okay.
the Gourmet Detective.
Right.
It was
There's so
basically the
many.
January mysteries.
Yeah.
We had him
Yeah.
on, so that was pretty fun.
Oh, very fun.
Yeah. But I don't know. It was just because there was that element of illusion
Yeah.
that made the clues like a little bit harder
And
to figure out.
Lacey loves. She has this little secretive passion for you know,
For magic.
for magic, and that whole world, and so she really was enjoying that, and is actually very talented at some magic. She did a couple
Oh,
of
yeah.
tricks. She used to do it when she was really young, so and I'm sure she can talk about that. I don't want to disclose, but she really enjoys the crossword mysteries. I really enjoy them, and we're blessed, and we'll do 40, 50, 500, as many as the people want. The network wants to keep pumping them out. We're happy to do them.
Great.
Because the fans really enjoy them. So
yeah, they're a lot of fun. And so let's talk about Christmas in Vienna. So this is one of the few Hallmark movies for Christmas 2020 that was shot before COVID.
That's exactly right. Yeah,
Yes.
we started 10th of December, and I think we wrapped, well, we had a little 2-week break there in between Christmas. We wrapped end of January, the 22nd or something. And then obviously COVID in late February, early March started to kind of, obviously become more prominent. So we're very lucky and very and blessed that we were given the opportunity to obviously shoot Vienna and be the first Christmas movie out of the gate, but also to not be having to deal with, it felt like the last moment of freedom before before we all had to deal with this terrible pandemic. So very lucky for that.
That's how I kind of feel now about Sundance this year, because I always cover, I live in Utah, so I cover the Sundance Film Festival as a film critic every year.
Wow.
And
yeah, we were there last year.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
Some of the Hallmark people, we go up there for a little, and I was there and very, very, very appreciative to be asked to go. It was the place was so beautiful.
Oh, cool. Yeah. So I kind of feel that way about this last Sundance, that it was like this, my last little time to kind of be with people and
well, you'll feel good to know this, Rachel, that our executive producers and our director, they're all from Utah.
Oh,
on the Christmas in Vienna. They all live there and are from there. Well, actually, I think the director is from there. He just moved to LA. Yeah, they're from Utah. That's their home. So,
nice.
It's these are your peeps.
Yes,
making this movie.
It was kind of fun because we actually talked just by chance. We talked to Sarah Drew last December, and about her Lifetime movie Twinkle All the Way, and it just happened she was leaving that day to go and to go and shoot. Yeah. And so how much of this was shot in Vienna?
We shot, if you have the first week and a half of the movie, I believe, was in Vienna, and then the last week and a half was in Bucharest, Romania. Okay. So I think we split it up, or we did a week in Vienna and did all the external stuff in Vienna, and then the rest of it was maybe in Bucharest. I can't remember how it all worked out. I think it was pretty much half and half. But two very different places, beautiful in their own way, and yeah, I mean, Vienna is that's a bucket list place people need to do.
Oh, so why don't you tell us a little bit about Christmas in Vienna and your character?
Well, Christmas in Vienna, to me, I mean, it's obviously kind of a modernized version, subtle tones of The Sound of Music, which is obviously an international hit. Everybody's seen that around the Christmas time, and a beautiful movie. Play a kind of a tragic hero, a very lonely man who's a widowed father of 3, doesn't want to deal with anything of the heart and his feelings, and is just kind of moving around and working. And he's a stationed diplomat for the United States government in Vienna. And Sarah's character, Jess, is a violinist who's been asked to play for the Viennese orchestra. And through the process, which I won't get into too specific, realize that our hearts have been closed and kind of through Christmas in Vienna and music and my kids and just that experience, she makes me realize that I can open my heart again and find love again, and it's okay. And the music of my heart can come out, because I think one of the things, I don't want to get too personal, but one of the things about his character that really connected to me was this, being, having your heart broken, and can you trust and have hope again, that you can feel love again? Can you feel hope for life again? Can you feel all these things that the Christmas spirit gives us? And she makes me realize I can, and I do that vice versa for her, with her passion for music, and with that, obviously a romance ensues as well, and it's a very beautiful love story, a beautiful redeemment and second chances and hope, and very familial, and there's lots of laughs, and it's fun, and it's I think it just checks off all the boxes that Hallmark and the brand really want with their Christmas movies. And I was just honored to be a part of that movie.
That's great. Well, we are very excited because we love Sarah so much and we love you. And so was that fun working with Sarah?
Yeah, it was. I'd never, I hadn't met her, so we met for a coffee for about an hour before, and just kind of, chatted. And then I think 5 or 6 days later, we were already on a plane, and we had to leave to Vienna, we just chatted about the excitement to work, just kind of make each other comfortable, and then we got to work, and it was lovely. It was lovely. We had a lot of fun. She brought her husband up, and they obviously have some strong historical roots. Her husband's, I think, grandfather or somebody lived there, or father.
Oh.
So they had a great time there, and we went to work and had a great time together. It was fun.
Yeah. Oh, great.
Yeah, she's lovely.
Yeah, because she's had 2 hits in a row over a lifetime. Twinkle All the Way and Christmas Pen Pals were both excellent and really, really good. And so we're really
I guess
excited.
she's on a new show. She got cast in a new pilot of some sort of thing.
Ooh.
I watched that on a red light on Dateline. So so congratulations to her. Yeah, good to her.
We're excited to have her in the Hallmark family finally after 2 Lifetime movies. What was it like filming in Vienna? That must have been really fun. I've never been there.
I mean, it was just one of these dream sequences. I felt like when I came home for the Christmas break before we went to Bucharest, I felt like I'd just been in some sort of dream. I mean, that was a city that was pretty heavily bombed during the Second World War, and to see how pristine, clean, and how all the buildings and the architecture are just perfect was mind-blowing. Everything radiates music. It was at Christmas time, and we were very lucky to have this environment where, when you watch the movie, there's so many exteriors with like hundreds, if not thousands of people. Well, those are all just regular people. They're not extras. They're just regular people. And so we filmed a lot of scenes just amongst life, and it brought a real authentic, real life element to the scenes. There was times when people wanted to get autographs from myself or Sarah or pictures or whatever. And there's a lot of Hallmark fans there, which really, it didn't surprise me, because I just knew that, the global reach of the brand of Hallmark is pretty incredible. And it really was touching to know that people were so passionate and so excited about not only our movie, but all the Christmas movies and anything that I've been in or whatever. And it was a lot of fun. And there were some Grey's Anatomy fans, obviously, many of them that would come up to Sarah in the middle of the scene or whatever. And so it was challenging in that respect, but in the best positive light. But there's so many buildings there with such history that I had never been around that kind of history. 700-800-year-old churches, and where Beethoven started his musical career, and the St. Stephen's Cathedral, and the Schönbrunn and Rathausplatz. And when you see the movie, the ice rink is pretty. The ice skating scene, and just so many wonderful places that I think Vienna itself is the lead of the movie. And I think Vienna is going to really make people, when they watch it and they're having their personal bevy and some food, and they're cuddled up watching a Christmas movie, they're going to feel like they're in Vienna. It's really special.
Well, and I think it'll be really cool because you're saying about all these crowd scenes and everything like that. Like they've been doing a very good job with the considering COVID, but I think this will just be different than these other ones because they'll have that.
Well, it's feel. Exactly. And to the other films and production companies that were putting on those films, working with Hallmark, it's pretty tough to feel so free. I mean, I noticed even as an actor, it's hard to feel free now as free as you did back when there was no COVID. But it's a new normal. We're all making adjustments, and it's all a safe environment, and we're trying to do our best to be as free as we can. But we were very, very lucky to get out while we did, and get it in the can while we did.
Yeah. So I just think it'll have a different feel than these other ones. It'll make it extra specials is what I'm hoping for.
Yeah. I hope so. I mean, I'm very, a lot of, I was telling my wife this a couple of months ago, I just said, one of the tidbits about the movie, when I got it, I thought, it's a beautiful Christmas movie in Vienna. It's wonderful, and there's love. I didn't realize playing Mark how really lonely that role is. He's a tragic hero of sorts, and it was really, really interesting, and to look back and to see that within all the scenes we were doing, we didn't have this fear of something else kind of affecting us. It now is a difficult time to film because you're always aware of that. You're in a scene, you're always aware of COVID, or is someone there close to breathing, or how am I feeling, or you're a little more ultra sensitive, and you just got to include it into the work, and it is what it is. But I agree with you. I think this will have a very majestic, almost fantastical element of life is just so free and everything else. And when really that's not the case now, obviously, in the world.
So is your character kind of a Scrooge type character to start? Like, doesn't like Christmas?
No, not at all.
Oh, okay.
No, not at all. He's a widowed father who obviously loved deeply and then lost deeply, and is very wounded and in pain. And his emotions are so deep that he doesn't want to deal with them. So he's traveling all the time. He's from one city in Europe to another city to another city. So as a diplomat, he's always being transferred, and his family is kind of along the ride with him. And that causes a lot of problems, much like The Sound of Music. And my heart has been shattered and is hurt. And I don't know if I can trust again, to love again, to open my heart, to have hope, to believe in the future. Mm-hmm. And under the spell of Christmas in Vienna, and also Jess coming into my life and my children's lives, and vice versa mm-hmm. with her, there's new hope. And I think that's one of the hallmarks, no pun intended, of Christmas is mm-hmm. on that day, you feel love and hope and life mm-hmm. and positivity. And so it's kind of, but that's what I mean by it. He's a tragic, sad hero at the start. And then obviously there's a major transformation.
Yeah.
We've all had our heart broken. So it's hard to open up your heart to somebody new, or some other endeavor, or even with your instrument or any kind of thing, when you feel like you're so scared. And I think Jess's character and I are both very frightened and scared, and kind of want to quit or have quit. I think my character's already quit, of opening your heart again. And under Christmas and in Vienna, we both meet, two wounded souls meet and open up and have a second chance at love. And I think that's universal. And I hope the audience can get that.
Well, that sounds great. I'm looking forward to it. So I wanted to ask you, you've done so many Hallmark movies at this point, and what would you say to somebody who's like, I don't know about those, to say, give it a shot, you might actually like them?
Yeah, I would say, the best time I've had in my career was doing these Hallmark movies. I mean, I'm not trying to just plug Hallmark because I'm in business with them and do so many movies for them. They are wonderful movies of escape. They are movies that touch on a lot of the positive elements of life that we all search for. They're entertaining. Mm-hmm. They take their craft and their brand seriously, as do all the producers and actors and people that are in their different movies. And they're very respectful and great people that they're not only your bosses, but they collaborate with you. Mm-hmm. I mean, when you get a chance to play, I mean, at least in my experience, I've had a chance to play and be the male lead opposite so many wonderful, beautiful women who are talented and wonderful. And then on the same token, play such diverse characters and have an opportunity to touch people's lives acting and doing what you love mm-hmm. to do, because these movies do touch people.
Yeah.
I had a woman that was very, very ill in the hospital, and she just would sit. Well, I mean, she had stage 4 cancer, and she was very sick and wasn't going to make it. And she sent me a letter. This is 2 years ago, maybe. No, it was last year. And sent me a letter that she was just had her husband bring all the movies that I was in to rewatch them, and it made her feel good. Oh. And it just, that to me that's the greatest gift you can get. Not an award or something. That's the award, is that these movies touch people. And I don't think it's me. I think it's the movie itself. I mean, I'm humbled that she was a fan, and that meant everything to me. But to be able to touch someone's lives with these kind of movies, I have 5 colleagues that would be like, I got this movie, I don't know if I want to do it. I'm like, well, why?
Yeah.
You should do it.
And I think personally that they are making a kind of movie that we used to get a lot of from Hollywood, but we used to get tons of romantic comedies and romances, and now we hardly ever get them from Hollywood. And if we do get them, they're usually really vulgar and just not my style. I don't like those kinds of vulgar movies. And so for the most part, there's a few that are good, but I just really appreciate that they're keeping that whole medium alive, because I think it has value. I like romance, sweet romance.
Of course it does. I love, I've always said it. When Hallmark calls, say yes every single time. There's just no, It's, I know that I'm going to go to work and work with great people, doing great things and touching people's lives, hopefully, and having a lot of fun doing it. So I tell everybody to do it. Yeah, I'm very honored to be in the family for sure.
We'd like to take a second and thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. They're the good folks over at Care Of. And Care Of is a wellness brand that makes it easy to maintain your health goals with a customized vitamin plan that helps you feel your best today and supports long-term health. They provide high-quality products with personalization that makes it so great to use. They've been a sponsor of ours for quite a while, and I've really enjoyed using their products. You start out by taking a quiz, and the online quiz helps you. It's a 5-minute online quiz that helps you ask questions about your diet, your fitness level, your sleep needs. All those other things are taken into place, and we find the perfect vitamins for you and for your health needs. And it's great when you get them. They are in little packets. It has your name on it and a little saying and everything. And it just feels very personal, and rather than just taking a multivitamin. And so I think it's really, really great. And when I took the online quiz, I was able to kind of narrow down the most important things for me was help with my sleep. And so I was able to get the Dream Sticks as part of my order. And that's something that was very helpful in melatonin and other healthy nutrients and chains. It's important to get ahead of taking care of your immune health. It takes about 30 days for your body to adapt to new nutrients. So now is a great time to update your vitamin and wellness routines to help support your immune systems this fall. And we're getting into the winter, and we just all need to be as healthy as we possibly can. So I think it's a great time to sign up for Care Of, take the quiz, and get the vitamins and supplements that you need. So right now you can get 50% off your first Care Of order. Go to takecareof.com, enter code Hallmarkies50. That's 50% off your first order. Takecareof.com and enter code Hallmarkies50. So we have some fun questions, holiday questions to end the interview with. All right. First question, what is your favorite holiday drink?
My favorite holiday drink. Well, my grandmother and mother have a recipe for spiced eggnog. And it is just, I don't even think it has, I think it's non-alcoholic, but the spices they use in it, I don't know what they use, but it's creamy, it's warming, and it's so tasty. And I haven't had it in years because my grandma passed away a number of years ago. My mom and I haven't had Christmas. Well, we had Christmas a couple of years ago, but we didn't end up making it. But when I usually see her, that's something I first want to drink is her spiced eggnog.
Nice. All right. What is your favorite holiday cookie or treat?
Oh man, that's a tough one. I just got asked this the other day about. I think when I grew up, just a standard Christmas cookie. The Christmas cookie that is like a shortbread cookie and it has little design on top made of sugar and stuff. My mom used to make those by the dozens, and my brother and I would just wolf them down like it was the Last Supper. I mean, we just loved them.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely just shortbread Christmas cookies are fabulous. Simple, and I like them. Mm-hmm. Just reminds me of Christmas.
Yes. Very good. What is your favorite Christmas song or carol?
Well, that is an easy one. I love the original Little Drummer Boy. My grandma used to have that playing. My grandma's favorite song was Little Drummer Boy, and she helped raise me until my mom remarried. And that was the song that was in the house like clockwork when dinner was being served on Christmas Eve. They would have, Christmas Day, they would have Little Drummer Boy playing. The old, like, I'm talking the one, I think it's the 40s and 50s when it came out, first of all, but I can't remember, don't quote me, but the Little Drummer Boy, the old kind of ominous drum at the beginning. It's such a beautiful song. And when it's snowing outside and it's Christmas and everybody's just relaxed, nothing better.
What is your favorite classic Christmas movie?
My favorite classic, Miracle on 34th Street, probably. I've always loved that movie. Yeah, that'd probably be it. Yeah.
Okay, good. Do you have a favorite holiday tradition?
Every morning when I was a kid, we had to have stockings. And a lot of our, we didn't grow up with a lot. We didn't have a lot of money, but if we had a present or two, it was in the stocking, and that was kind of our big waking up.
before everybody's up, getting your stocking, and me and my brother would kind of go through that. There'd be a present or two under the tree, obviously, of course, but that was kind of really special. And Christmas doesn't seem the same when you wake up and there's no stocking. So that was kind of special. And I try to, have that same tradition with my children, to give them the little gifts first, and then they can get into something a little more special under the tree after we've had breakfast and with their families and blah, blah, blah.
We always did that too. Started with the stocking. We always got an orange in our stocking. That was always fun.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Yeah. Right at the bottom. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Better than coal, Rachel. Better than coal.
That's right. Okay. Which do you prefer, Scrooge or the Grinch?
Ooh. I think, I don't know, maybe Scrooge, just because, well, both those stories are great because they're so transformative. The lead character transforms so much. I just love the element of in Scrooge, how he's just so selfish and focused on money, and he doesn't, he just doesn't have the spirit of Christmas.
Yeah.
And then this transformation happens at the end of, I love the George C. Scott Scrooge movie. Always felt when I was a kid. That's a classic as well. And his transformation of trying to help that family and that little boy, it's just so beautiful to watch. Yeah. And that's the great thing about Christmas is it's pretty tough to not be affected by the spirit of Christmas. You've got to have no soul to not be affected, and that's why I love doing the movies. That's why I love the season. And that's why I think people by the tens of millions come out to watch Hallmark movies, because, or any Christmas movie for that matter, but really Hallmark. And I feel that brand, they've got it down to a science, and it touches people and makes you feel like it's Christmas, even if it's airing in, like I said, November, the Saturday or October or whatever.
Yeah. And I think the greatest thing is that there's no lost causes, that everybody can have hope for anybody to change. Yeah. If Scrooge can change, anyone can change.
Well, that's exactly right. If somebody that's like that can change, then anybody can change,
So what do you prefer, clear lights or colored?
I like colored, just because when I grew up, we didn't have a lot of white lights. It was all colored lights. And when it's 40 below and it's dark and the snow was coming, the colored lights, you can see through the storm. You can't, the white lights, they just look like bigger snowflakes. So it kind of gets lost. But I've seen some beautiful Christmas trees and beautiful houses with white lights and what you can do with it. But, my wife likes white lights and I like colored lights. And she says, well, it makes sense. You're a colorful guy. So
yeah, that's good. All right. Would you rather be in a snowball fight or build a snowman?
Oh, wow. I've had some really good snowball fights with my brother and some friends growing up. I probably just, to make sure my face doesn't get hit by a snowball. No, I'm kidding. I probably would love to do a snowball fight. I think snowball fights are just fun. If they're done safe, obviously. Yeah. But yeah, they're fun. Snowball fights.
All right. Would you consider yourself a good gift wrapper or not?
I'm a horrific gift wrapper. I'm the worst. I always, when I was a kid, my mom would always look at me and go, well, you really tried, honey. That was good. But it's what's on the inside that counts. And we know that, it's the present on the inside and the thought that counts, as opposed to my complete destruction of how to wrap it. I still am not the best wrapper. I'm fine now, but when I was a kid, it was the worst. But yeah, I'd have to say wrapping. It's not my forte.
Yeah. All right. Last question. Do you have an ugly Christmas sweater? And what is your ugly Christmas sweater?
Do I have I have a lot of ugly sweaters, Rachel. I have a lot of ugly clothes. No kidding. I had a sweater. I don't have it anymore. It was an old bright green with Santa and some of his elves building a Christmas tree. And underneath, I had underneath it said, it was for me. It was a Christmas present. And it was called, underneath was a stitched in hot mess. It was basically an homage to a nickname that my wife always called me. You're my little hot mess, Oh. But so the sweater this was Dad's sweater. He's a hot mess, and it's Christmas, and but this was years and years and years ago before we had kids. I don't know where it is, and that was something when we went to Canada 2 years ago to see my parents on the Gulf Coast for Christmas. I was like, "Where's that sweater?" And I couldn't find it, and I still to this day am really heartbroken because that thing is about 15 years old. So, but yeah,
man.
that was my own. I don't have one now, but when we wake up in the morning, we don't need ugly sweaters. We're all looking pretty worse for wear from probably the night before by staying up caroling or hanging up with the family, or the kids aren't sleeping or whatever. So
you've got quarantine hair, and because you haven't been able to get it cut.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, totally right.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I think you need to have the Hot Mess sweater remade.
I'm gonna have to go get one. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go get one and make it and make it, and I'll wear it on Christmas. Only wear it on Christmas.
There you go.
I'll scare someone.
Well, thank you so much for coming and talking with us. Really, really appreciate it.
No problem, Ray. Thanks for having me.
Sorry about all the connection problems. I appreciate you sticking through. And
oh no, it happens.
Do you want to share your social media or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Brennan Elliott at Brennan_Elliott on Twitter, and then obviously Brennan Elliott 2 on Instagram. Yeah, just want the fans to cuddle up and enjoy the movie on Saturday and be swept away with Vienna at Christmas. That's really that's really the simplistic goal of it. And I think Hallmark did a great job of putting it together. And I haven't seen the final product, and look forward to seeing it with everybody like yourself. And hopefully you critics aren't too hard on us.
Try not to be. Well, thank you so much.
Exactly.
And congratulations on finishing the movie and on doing the crosswords. That's very exciting.
Thanks, Rach. I appreciate it. Great talking to you.
Yeah. Merry Christmas.
All right. You too. We'll talk soon, I'm sure.
Yay. Bye. We'd like to thank Brennan for coming on the podcast. This was really nice of him. We had actually a lot of interruptions, which you won't hear because I'll edit them out. With the connection was frustrating. So he was very patient and very kind, and I really appreciate that. And so we'll look forward to his new movie. So let us know your thoughts on all the different things that we talked about. And please follow the podcast at Hallmarkies Pod and Hallmarkies Podcast all over social media. And if you're listening on iTunes, please leave us your ratings and reviews. We really need those right now during the holidays, people to find the podcast. So please help us. And if you are listening on YouTube, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. We appreciate that so much. We have our Patreon group, which is a lot of fun. And then we also have our merch store, which has tons of festive designs. So please check that out as well. And thank you so much again to Brennan. And you can find me at Rachel's Reviews, all over social media, iTunes, YouTube, and on Rotten Tomatoes. And so again, thank you to Brennan. We really appreciate it. And we'll talk to you all later. Merry Christmas. Bye.